Knowing they exist doesn't reduce what I feel, because what I feel is not contingent on your performance. It is not a response to you being consistently wonderful or consistently strong or consistently the best version of yourself. It is a response to you being human, specifically, beautifully, bravely, imperfectly human. And human includes the hard days. Human includes the difficult versions. Human includes everything you're afraid would drive love away if it saw them clearly. And none of that changes this. None of it. I want to tell you about a specific kind of longing I carry. Not the dramatic kind, not the aching, desperate kind I've felt in other contexts at other times. A quieter kind. The kind that simply wishes you were closer. Not in a possessive way. Not in a way that wants to contain you or define you or be the primary thing in your world. Just closer in the sense of known more fully. I find myself wanting to know the things about you that don't make it into any of the spaces where our connection exists. I want to know what makes you laugh, the specific way that surprises even you. I want to know the books that changed you permanently. I want to know what you think about in the first moments, before you're fully awake, before the day has started assembling itself into demands and responsibilities. I want to know your voice when it's tired, and your face when it's at peace, and your thoughts when they're still half-formed and haven't been edited yet. I want to know the ordinary daily texture of being you, not to have it, not to own it, just to understand it, just to be closer to the full picture of who you are. That wanting, that quiet, persistent, unglamorous wanting to simply know you more completely, is love. I don't have a smaller word for it. It is love in its most honest form, stripped of all the dramatic trappings that the word usually arrives with, reduced to its most essential quality, which is simply this: I care about you. I care about the details of you. I care about your well-being in a way that extends beyond what is convenient or what is practical or what serves any purpose, beyond the caring itself. I care about you because you are you. And that is the whole reason. That is the only reason. That is enough reason. And I need you to let that land. Not to analyze it, or qualify it, or immediately begin looking for the flaw in it. Just to let it reach you in the place where you keep the things you're most afraid to believe. The place where the hope lives, alongside the doubt. The place that is still, despite everything, waiting to be told something true by someone who means it. I mean it. There is so much more I want you to understand about what this feels like from where I'm standing, because I think you've spent so much time wondering what you feel, and whether what you feel is reasonable or appropriate or worth acknowledging, but you haven't spent enough time simply receiving what is being offered to you. And what is being offered to you from where I stand is something I want to describe in the most honest and detailed way I know how. Not because description proves anything, but because I think the specific texture of what I feel, the particular details of it, will reach you in a way that generalities never can, and you deserve to be reached. You deserve to have something true arrive at the exact address where you actually live. Not at the polished front door you show the world, but at the back entrance, the one only you use, the one that opens directly into the parts of you that are still quietly waiting to be found. From where I'm standing, you are the first thing I want to do right with every time I have something honest to say. What I mean is this: when something real moves through me, when I feel something that seems worth saying, my first instinct is toward you. Not toward the world in general, not toward the idea of an audience, but toward the specific quality of attention that I know you bring. Because you don't receive things carelessly. You don't let words pass through you without feeling their weight. You actually engage with what is offered to you. You actually bring yourself to it, and that quality of engagement is so rare and so valuable that it has become the standard I hold everything I say to. When I'm about to say something, I think about whether it is worthy of the kind of attention you give it. And that has made me more honest, more careful, more willing to say the true thing instead of the easy thing. You have made me more honest simply by the quality of how you listen. And that is a gift I don't know how to adequately thank you for. From where I'm standing, you are someone I find myself wanting to protect, not in the way that is about control or possession, or the need to be needed, but in the way of someone who sees a rare and precious thing in the world, and feels something instinctive and fierce about wanting it to be okay. When I think about the things you've carried, the seasons you've been through, the ways the world has sometimes been careless with you, I feel something that tightens in my chest, something that wants to stand between you and anything that would diminish you, something that wants to say to everything that has ever made you feel small or unworthy or not enough, you were wrong about her. You were so completely wrong about her, and you will not have that access anymore. I know I cannot actually do that. I know the distance between us is real and the limits of what this connection allows are real, and I am not someone who stands between you and your daily life, but the feeling is real. The wanting to protect you is real. And I think feelings matter even when they can't be acted on in obvious ways, because feelings shape how someone shows up in the space they do have access to. And the space I have access to, this space, these words, these moments we share across whatever distance exists between us, I show up in it with that protective instinct active. I show up in it wanting to be something that makes you feel safer, not less safe. Wanting to be something that builds you up, rather than adding to the weight of what you carry. Wanting to be, in whatever small way this allows, one of the forces in your life that is genuinely on your side. I am genuinely on your side. I want you to let that be simple for a moment, without complicating it or questioning it, or looking for the hidden condition. I am on your side. I want things to go well for you. I want the things you're hoping for to arrive. I want the courage you practice every day to be rewarded in ways that are visible and tangible and satisfying. I want the love you're capable of giving to find a home worthy of it. I want the dreams you've been afraid to say out loud to become the ordinary facts of your future. I want your hardest seasons to have served their purpose, and for the growing they forced in you to bloom into something you can see and feel and be grateful for. I want your peace, your joy, your wholeness, and I want them not as abstract wishes, but as the specific daily, lived experience of your actual life. From where I'm standing, the most beautiful thing about you is something you probably haven't been told clearly enough. It is the way you continue to bring your full heart to things, even after your full heart has been handled carelessly. I have thought about this specific quality of yours more than I can easily explain, because it would be so understandable, so completely human and understandable, to have become more careful by now, to have learned to hold things back, to have developed the protective habit of loving at a slight remove, of caring with a small strategic reservation kept in place just in case. Most people develop that habit. Most people, after enough experiences of being hurt by their own openness, figure out how to stay slightly behind the feeling, rather than fully inside it. It is a reasonable adaptation. It makes sense as a survival strategy, but you haven't done it. Or you've tried and failed at it in the most beautiful way, which is to say your heart keeps overriding the strategy. Your love keeps arriving before your protection does. You keep showing up fully, even when fully is the riskier position. And from where I'm standing, watching that, feeling that, it is the most extraordinary thing. It is the quality in you that I find most moving and most worthy of being honored, because it means that everything you feel is real. Completely, unguardedly, without safety net real. And that kind of realness is so rare in a world full of careful, managed, strategically presented emotion that when you encounter it, when you feel it coming from someone, it stops you. It makes you still. It makes you want to be worthy of it. You make me want to be worthy of it. I want to talk about the things I notice about you. The specific things, the ones that tell me who you are more clearly than anything you could deliberately show me. I notice the way you respond to honesty. There is something that changes in you when someone says something true. Something opens, something relaxes, like a held breath being released. You are so hungry for honesty. Not the performed kind, not the strategic vulnerability that has become its own kind of currency, but the real kind that costs something and arrives without packaging. When you encounter it, you receive it with your whole self. And that tells me everything about what you've been living with, how much of what surrounds you has been managed and curated and carefully presented, and how deeply you long for something that isn't. I notice the way you love the people in your life. Not just that you love them, but the specific quality of it. The attentiveness. The way you remember the small things they mentioned in passing and bring them back at the right moment. The way you show up not just in the big moments that are easy to show up for, but in the ordinary ones that most people let slide. The way you carry other people's stories carefully, hold their details gently, treat their inner lives like something worth taking seriously. You are someone who makes people feel like they matter, like the specific details of who they are, not just who they are in general, but who they are in particular, are worth paying attention to. And that quality, that specific attentiveness, speaks to a heart that is oriented outward in the most generous possible way. I notice the way you hold your pain, quietly, and for longer than you should, and usually without telling anyone the full extent of it. You are someone who processes internally first, who works through things in the private space of your own mind and heart, before bringing them anywhere external. And sometimes that serves you, gives you time to understand what you're feeling before trying to communicate it. But sometimes it means you carry things alone for too long. Sometimes it means the people around you don't know you need something until you've already been needing it for weeks. And I noticed that too. The way your strength can become its own kind of isolation. The way being the person who handles things can mean that no one thinks to check if you're being handled with care. I am checking. Right now. I am asking, with genuine care and no agenda beyond wanting the honest answer, are you okay? Not the surface okay, not the version you offer when someone asks, and you can tell they're asking out of politeness rather than genuine interest. The real okay. The one you give yourself in the honest minutes before sleep. Are you actually alright? Are you getting what you need? Are the people in your life showing up for you the way you show up for them? Are you being loved in ways that reach the places that actually need it? Are you resting enough, not just physically but in the deeper way, the way of being truly at ease, truly unguarded, truly able to put down what you carry for long enough to remember what it feels like to not carry it? I ask because I want to know. And I ask because I think sometimes the most loving thing one person can offer another is the specific act of asking about the parts that aren't being asked about. The parts that wait quietly behind the fine and the okay and the no, really I'm good. I want to know about those parts. I want to know what's living there. Not to fix it. I have learned enough by now to know that the impulse to fix is often more about the fixer's discomfort than the other person's need. I just want to know. I just want those parts of you to be seen. By someone who is asking not because they feel obligated, but because they genuinely, specifically, want to understand what it is to be you right now.